And good Saturday afternoon, everybody. Your singer forecaster Joe DiGregorio checking in with you on this warm and semi-muggy day. We'll have a few more days like this leading into midweek. With two fronts coming through. Monday, a little weak front and a couple little short waves that'll be running through the area. Sunday looks to be about a 40% chance of showers and possibly a thunderstorm across the region, uh, west and east, across South Louisiana. And then we dry out basically from Monday, and showers start to return in Tuesday afternoon. And then Wednesday, things could get a little rocky. I'm continuing to follow the threat for some possible severe weather. The primary threats right now continue to be strong damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour and isolated tornadoes. Now, not everybody will see that, but there's a possibility that some people will. Uh, Anywhere within 25 miles of a given point in the risk area. And right now, you're looking at live radar, but I'm going to switch over real quick here. I'm going to turn the radar off, and we'll go out to day 5 here. We can bring it up here. Give it a second. There we go. So here's your risk area for Wednesday, and they don't draw in the marginal risk until we get to day 3 and then 2 and 1. So the first any from days 4 through 8 on a severe weather outlook, the Storm Prediction Center does not pencil in the marginal risk areas. But suffice it to say, somewhere out here there's going to be that green marginal risk. So again, basically all of South Louisiana, probably Central Louisiana, will be under that some sort of severe risk, with the highest threats being from Acadiana into southeast Louisiana. And you can see, basically all except for very southern, except for the very southern end along the coastal parishes there, between Lafourche, Plaquemines, and down here through the Mississippi Delta. So all the major cities, Lafayette, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Slidell, points in between, everybody would be in a severe risk for Wednesday. And the primary timing right now, there's still some differences in the model solutions as far as timing goes, but right now it appears to be Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday evening when the worst of this will occur. And we'll look at the latest GFS forecast here in just a moment. I'll get that loaded up for you. But again, primary threats are going to be strong damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, and an isolated tornado or two cannot be ruled out. And as we get return flow coming in from the Gulf out ahead of the front, along with daytime instability, strong shear loft as well, that returning moisture flow is going to basically wash out any dry air that was in place from the previous weak little front. We got a little weak front that's draped across the area right now, as in the process of washing off the board, and a short wave will move through the region, bring in a few maybe showers into southwest Louisiana today, and then tomorrow things ramp up with about a 40% chance. So again, and I'm putting this on YouTube because right now I'm in Facebook jail until tomorrow afternoon. So I've been on the alt account, uh, able to post, but my two Joe accounts are locked, and so uh, basically another trivial little piece of BS with Facebook's Nazism. Let's go, Brandon. That's all I'll say to that. But anywho, look at folks. Facebook's been having a lot of issues, and I encourage you to join this YouTube channel. It's free to create a YouTube account just so you can follow this. You get notifications quickly when I post, and once I hit 1,000 subscribers and I get 400 hours of total time watched in the 60-day time span, I believe it is, um, that turns on the ability to go live on YouTube. It's a much stabler platform to be able to go live. I can go live a lot longer if I need to, and the key to that is hit that subscribe button and then that little bell, hit all notifications, and then share. Subscribe, smash that thumbs up button on the videos to like it, subscribe, hit that little bell icon, hit all notifications, and then share it. That's the key. Between the 3 weather pages that I run, I've got almost 80,000 people that follow, and right now we've only got 475 subscribers. Come on, people. You know, we can do a lot better. And you know, if you want me to continue to have a stable platform to go live on, where you get those instant notifications when I go live during critical weather events in South Louisiana, you got to start following here on YouTube. It's as simple as that. We've got to get away from Facebook. And with that, I can use Streamlabs and cross-post to Facebook where we can go live there, but it costs money for Streamlabs, monthly fee. I think it's like $10 a month or something like that. But we've got to upgrade. We've got to move away from the primary live platform of Facebook and start going on the YouTube. It's as simple as that, folks. We got to get it done. So we need 600 more subscribers. I know out of 80,000 people, we should be able to do that instantaneously. If you enjoy the videos, if you find these videos informative, like each video, watch a little bit of the videos, build up the time watched, and subscribe. Hit that little bell icon and select all notifications, and share it. Share it to your Facebook. Let the word get out. We got to do better. I know we can. You do it on Facebook. We got to go to YouTube. It's as simple as that. Facebook Live has become so unstable over the last year. It's pathetic, and I don't think Facebook's going to be around much longer the way things are going with them. And considering that they ban you just for calling somebody dumb as a rock, you know, that's not bullying. That's what they call it, harassment and bullying. But yet we see people on there saying much, much worse, and you report them. It comes back as, oh, they didn't violate our community standards. Well, you know what? Dear Facebook and Zuckerberg, screw your community standards. You're one-sided, you're biased. Screw you. On your middle finger. That's the way I think about Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook right now. I don't care about their stars and their little bit of payouts each month. That's become irrelevant now. You have pissed me off. I digress. Let's get back to the task at hand here. That's all I've got to say on that. So we're going to go out here in time to next Tuesday, the 26th, and we'll start it there at 7 a.m. Tuesday, and we're going to go to uh, Thursday morning, 7 a.m. So we got a 48-hour loop here, Tuesday and Wednesday. That'll give us a preliminary look uh, from the latest operational GFS model, what we might expect in terms of rainfall. And National Weather Service basically saying for Southwest Louisiana an average of 1 to 2 inches, locally higher amounts. That's across Southwest Louisiana. We'll see what happens here for Southeast Louisiana as well. Um, let's let the animation fully load up. We'll see how things go. We know it's going to be a pretty rocky day on Wednesday afternoon and a Wednesday evening. Uh, that's already a given. Uh, how bad, how severe, that still remains to be seen at this point. We'll take a look at some other little factors here on the model, but you can see as these frames continue to load up, the animation, you can see some of these bigger storms getting ready to fire. And you'll see the time frame over here on the left side, 27th, and it's going to skip and jump until we get all of the frames loaded. We got 48 hours worth of animation loading up, so let's give it a few minutes here and we'll see what we see. So it would appear right now that the latest run of the operational GFS is actually showing a faster solution on the time frame. I haven't looked at the other models. We can't go out that far on the National Weather Service blend of models, but I'll take a look at the Euro later and I'll see what we see. But right now we're just going to take a look at the GFS. And this would be Tuesday afternoon. It looks like this thing starts to rock and roll here early into Wednesday morning. And now we're getting into Wednesday afternoon and things really have died out and this front's basically kicking out of here. So by 7 a.m. Thursday morning, it's done and gone. So here we now today, we're going through the timeline here, getting into this afternoon, some scattered showers around the region. That's in the forecast. And then we get into Wednesday pre-dawn. Now we're here at daybreak. So this is basically right now, according to the latest operational GFS, it's looking like we're going to have a basically nocturnal event from Tuesday night into Wednesday morning now. So this is about a 24-hour change in time as far as what we can expect. And again, with that, there's still some spread between the models and their solutions as far as the timing goes. So we'll continue to see. So now here we are at noon. Let me pause this. So here we are at 2:13 a.m. on Wednesday morning. Let's back this up here. So here we are Tuesday afternoon next week, and then we'll slide forward here, and things really start to develop Tuesday night, basically across Beauregard and over here towards Allen Parish and up through Glenmora and those areas, and then it continues to spread. And here we can pretty clearly see the frontal boundary stretching northeast to southwest across the state. And at this point, intensity is really not showing anything too major, but again, these long range future radars, you just take it with a grain of salt. As we get closer in time, that's when we'll start to see better resolution, especially with the NAM once we get inside 60 hours. So we're still double that at this point in time. So here we are, 5:35 a.m. Wednesday morning, and the bulk of this is through Acadiana northward up through Marksville and then Natchez and on over into southwest Mississippi, and we see a really big blow up here in this area, Glenmora to Simmsport down to Melville, Ville Platte, Oakdale area, and then over here south of Natchez. This is 7 a.m. Wednesday morning on the 27th, and it quickly dies out across South Louisiana, but blows up big time up here in central and southern Mississippi or southwestern Mississippi. So it looks like a lot of the energy will be displaced to our north, but then again, we're still 120 hours out, and we'll see what happens. So with that, take the long range models with a grain of salt. We're still seeing some things here that could possibly burn us. So let's take a look at 10-meter winds during that same time period here. We'll load this loop up, and you can see the scale up here across the top of the screen there. So we'll let these load up here and turn the probe on. Let's turn it off here. Let's continue loading the loop. And then we'll also look at temperatures. I think we get back into the 40s next weekend. I said Friday. Look, folks, Friday morning next week, we're going to struggle to even get to 70 degrees. A lot of us probably don't get out of the 60s. North of the I-10 and I-12 corridors, it's going to be a spectacular weekend. I think the 48-hour loop is finished. We'll see here in just a second. So you see these southerly winds coming in out ahead of the front. Yeah, they're still loading the frames. Pretty decent winds. 20 to 25 miles per hour offshore. Probably going to have a small craft advisory posted, and As we zoom out here, you can see the stronger winds still over in North Texas and West Texas there, out ahead of this thing. Again, these are 10-meter winds. These aren't, or surface winds. These aren't gusts. But the frames are still loading. Just give it a second here. Again, Spectrum Internet's really sucky. Can't say much for Cox back home, what they're doing to my mom there, but the way it was described to me, sounded like a bunch of idiots working for Cox. So while we're waiting on these frames to load, I want to take this opportunity to call out Matt, sports writer over at WBRZ in Baton Rouge, and his little whispering sources that were making some claims about Coach O and some on-field practice shenanigans. You know, there's a reason I only follow WAFB for sports and weather. I don't follow the news, but I follow them for sports and weather. They're great folks. But WBRZ, look, they break a story according to anonymous sources, and they don't do any fact checking, no attempt to corroborate any of the stuff that they're being told. They just run with it, trying to get a scoop and trying to make Coach O look bad. And a bunch of the players have already come out and said that it's fake news, it's BS. And these were prominent players. And so this just goes to show, stay the hell away from WBRZ, folks. About the only thing you should be watching is sports and weather, and go to WAFB for that. They got the best. I don't know, New Orleans, look, I don't follow that television market, but they've got their share of idiots too that work for them. The news media industry has gone so far downhill that they should be banned from social media, period, based on their performances. So it looks like we've got everything loaded up here. I digress again. Let's get back to the task at hand. You know, I'm rambling, I'm ranting, and I'm good for that. But hey, I call it like I see it. So let's take a look now. We'll roll through the sequence here, and let's scroll back here. Alright, so here we are, the 26th. We'll start at 7 a.m. See the 10-meter winds. We're getting into after midnight Tuesday into Wednesday morning, pre-dawn hours. Not too bad, but along the coastal areas, here we are Wednesday afternoon, and we've got some decent winds at the surface, hovering right around upper teens to 20, and that would be that area of strong storms that we saw. Gusts probably in the 20s, maybe 30s. Then it moves off, and then we see as we get into Wednesday night, things pretty much subside. But down here off the coast, look up, we got some pretty strong winds out there, and that's going to be gusting probably 40 to 45 out there. So coastal areas, especially along the tidal lakes here, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, probably not going to be fun out there. But things start to subside, as we get into daybreak Thursday, and things start looking good. So that's your surface winds. Now, let's take a look at some other little things here. Let's look at some instability here. So we'll load a loop again, and we'll let this play out. So this will be Tuesday morning, 7 a.m. through Thursday, 7 a.m. Thursday morning. Your cape, your surface cape is your surface instability. All these frames loading, you can see the bulk of this is well offshore and in the southeast Texas area. A lot of instability down in the southern Gulf, and you can clearly see how the front comes through and just kills that instability, and things stabilize behind the front. Here we are on the Wednesday afternoon. It looks like all of our frames are just about loaded here, and once we get all the frames loaded, then we're going to slide back and forth here, and we'll do some analysis of cape values here. So let's go take a look here. All right, so let's zoom back in here. Okay, so here we are, Tuesday morning, and cape values generally under 1,000 joules per kilogram, and here we go into Tuesday afternoon, and we got a couple little splotches in here or above 1,000, and again, here we go into Tuesday night. Here we are now Wednesday morning. So see a lot of instability here. Lafourche, Plaquemines, and areas just to the north of it, and then again here, Jefferson County, I guess, and Orange, and here in the Calcasieu and Cameron. Pretty decent moderate instability in there, but it's not. There we go. So here we are getting right at noon on Wednesday, and see surface instability approaching 2,000 joules per kilogram, generally in the high 1700s here. So that would be sufficient to pop off. Even here in your oranges where you're above 1,000, and the yellows, it would still be sufficient to pop off an isolated big time storm. Now it looks like things generally blow up pretty quickly as far as surface instability across South Louisiana, and you see the reds, the dark oranges, and the lighter oranges. So basically, pretty big areas of instability are present. Anything could pop in these areas, and then as we go through early afternoon, approaching 3 o'clock, see a lot of this instability at the surface is centered through Acadiana and western portions of southeast Louisiana, and this will be your higher risk areas at this point in time if this timeline on the current GFS run were to verify. And here we go, 4 o'clock Wednesday afternoon. See big time instability across the region here, mainly through eastern portions of Acadiana up through east-west Feliciana, EBR, Livingston, and on up into Amite, Pike, Wilkinson, and towards Brookhaven. Down here in lower Plaquemines, Lafourche, Terrebonne Parish. Big time instability is still present in the dark orange areas and in the dark blood red areas. So, given that, the future radar is not going to be accurate at this far out, but given some of the parameters we've seen thus far, and this is just a couple that I'm showing you. I've looked at a lot of the others, but suffice it to say, anytime from Tuesday night to Wednesday night is going to be pretty bumpy across South Louisiana, starting from west and translating eastward. So have it in the back of your mind, be prepared, have a plan in place if severe weather threatens your location and you get a warning issued for your area. Be prepared for that. We are now in our 7th season, our fall severe weather season, and we're starting a multi-day severe weather process that'll start in the plain states and translate eastward above us with this first front, and then the next one coming through that we're looking at here late Tuesday and the Wednesday. That's going to be the big one. So if confidence continues to grow, we may even see an enhanced risk hatched for parts of southeast Louisiana. And I stress may just stay under a slight risk, but either way, the threat would be there. Be prepared for that, and have a plan in place. Be ready for it. Doesn't matter where you are. You may not get anything, but hey, at least you would be prepared if you did get nailed by a severe thunderstorm pushing 60, 65, maybe 70 mile per hour winds, or an isolated spin-up tornado. So we'll also have to see what kind of squall line or QLCS develops with this front. If we do get that sort of a QLCS squall line, then the leading edge of that, as well as any rogue storms that develop out ahead of it, that's where we would see our spin-ups for tornadoes. So, and then the strong winds would come inside of that line after the leading edge moves through. So let's be prepared, be ready, be safe, and remember, subscribe, smash that thumbs up like button, hit that little bell, hit get all notifications, and then share. Like, subscribe, all notifications, and then share. Simple process. That easy. That's here on YouTube. Don't care about Facebook no more. So let's get it done. We need 600 more subscribers. Let's go. Let's go, Brandon. And with that, have a great rest of your Saturday. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow.